What's going on, y'all? Tuesday, Wake Up Barstool, and the majority of the office, well, they've headed to San Francisco for the Super Bowl. But we're still here in studio doing the show. It's a little bit quieter around here. We got a great show planned for you today.
We're ready to roll! It's Super Bowl week! We don't care about it! We're here! The action's here! Wake Up Barstool! Ready to roll, ready to roll, ready to roll!
What's happening, y'all? Welcome in. Wake Up Barstool. It is Tuesday. We are crisscross applesauce, ready to roll.
Ready to roll!
On today's show,
Ready to roll.
motley crew in Wake Up Barstool history. Myself, Big T, Leah Bluttman, and the one and only Stu Feiner. And we got your ass for not one, but 2 days in a row, okay? And we got a really good show planned today.
3 days in a row.
Big T, we're going to talk to Trey Smith.
Without me.
Yeah, without you.
Yeah,
That is true.
yeah,
Yeah,
thanks for
I
that.
talked to Trey Smith yesterday.
Thanks for that.
Two-time Super Bowl champ, former Tennessee Volunteer. Great, got some insight what it takes to win on this stage. We got Brian Hoyer coming up a bit later. So we got Brock Huard, who covers the Seahawks out there. So look, it's going to be a ton of fun, and it starts with the Super Bowl. Boys, how we feeling today?
Great.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
we go. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Bobby, I'm feeling amazing, feeling hopeful, feeling positive, feeling blessed. For me, this is like a 14-day run into the Super Bowl started on the off week where so exciting, so much energy. And as far as personally, Sunday is my biggest day of the year.
Really?
I'll bring into StuFeiner.com between $20,000 to $100,000. Like I sell this $169 package where I give you the side, the total, the parlay, MVP, first score of the game, and 10 props. So, hundreds of people buy it, and, we'll be glued to the TV. We already have 150 people at my house. We have 16 TVs. They'll be all glued in. We start at 9 in the morning barbecuing, and then we just constantly eat. I'm looking to gain 8 pounds Super Bowl Sunday.
150 people at your house.
Well, remember, I still have my 37-year-old, 34-year-old, 30-year-old, 26-year-old living in the house. So all their friends want to be around me. They want to be on camera. They want to be eating food and partying hard. So, it's going to be amazing. Thousands of beers, hundreds of bottles of wine, and we're not going to talk about what else is going to be there, but it's just going to be like the best time ever. But I feel grateful to be alive. I just want to say I feel very blessed to you and to hang with both of you on the show's an honor to be part of Barstool Sports. I never take it for granted. As we know, I was just 65 last Saturday.
Congratulations.
I cannot
Happy
believe
birthday
I'm
to
alive
Stu,
at
everybody.
65. I thought and I told in pre-production, from 18 to 29, I did not make a mistake. I made $20 million. Everything I touched turned to gold. I didn't make one mistake. So I figured in my head, at 30, God's going to take my life. It's going to be over.
Yeah.
You can't keep running like this. So I always thought my life was going to be over by 30, and I never thought at 65 I would be on live TV.
So did you balance the books in your 30s then? Like, did you get your mistakes out of the way in your 30s, and now we're even on the cosmic scales of justice?
100%, because I went from literally $20 million in the bank, retired in 1997, and in 1999 the internet put me out of business, balls broke, in foreclosure on my house.
What?
That's how crazy it was.
Damn.
It went from the top of the mountain to the bottom. And then I floundered from 1999 to 2011 until I figured out the internet. And then 2012, 13, 14.
Crazy. You were born for the internet. You're an internet god.
Well, but if you're not used to it, if I'm brick
for
and
sure,
mortar,
for sure.
200 people working for me in a boiler room operation. I owned 200 score phones in 200 different cities. We used to get 50 million calls a day. I gave all your scores, odds, lines, injury reports. I was #1 in the world, and we had this 6-minute recorded message, and I inundated it with a ton of ads, and I was killing. And then CBS Sportsline in 1999 opened their website up. I went from 50 million calls. Next week was 5 million, and then out of business in 6 months.
Wow.
So
wait, so you have kind of a Sam Darnold story in your own right. I mean, you look at Sam Darnold, right? He has all this early success. He goes on to be the #1 overall pick, and then it all falls apart. He's a bust. He has nothing. He's at rock bottom. Teams are shuttling him left and right. He's a backup in San Francisco, and look at him now. He kept working. He too found his way to build his way back up, and here he sits 1 game away from Super Bowl immortality.
Forever.
Something that nobody can ever take from you.
And they're already favored to win the Super Bowl next year.
Well, okay, and so this is a question that I wanted to explore here, and this is kind of a perfect transition, which is this idea. I was talking to my old man about this game, and I kind of know where his rooting interests lie. And I was like, who are you cheering for, right? If you don't have a rooting interest in this game, no bias, are you cheering for Sam Darnold or are you cheering for Drake May here? And he said, look, I mean, Drake May needs to suffer a little bit. The kid's 23 years old. He's on the verge of becoming the youngest quarterback ever to win a Super Bowl. He's the youngest quarterback ever to start a Super Bowl already. Like, he needs to suffer a little bit. Sam Darnold's been through it. So, boys, I ask you the same question. Who are you cheering for since you have no allegiance to either team?
I mean, how would anyone root for the Patriots? Other than Patriots fans, obviously.
I guess that's a fair question. They've been a bit spoiled, right? But the Seahawks
let the Patriots
the Seahawks
win
aren't
again.
exactly the little sisters of the poor. They've had a lot of success in this recent era,
Right,
of
but they're literally
NFL football as well.
There is not a team you could put up against the New England Patriots, who won 6. How many did they win? Then they suck for like 2 years. They get a new franchise quarterback. He's 2 years into the league. They're 17-3. And then they just start doing it again. There is not a team in the NFL you could put up against that would be the worst option.
It's a fair point and a kind of interesting point, because it's almost like this Patriots team then, in that perspective, is paying for the sins of their forefathers. Because this Patriots team, if you look at it, actually has a lot of Sam Darnold stories as well. Like
the same franchise. It doesn't matter.
Well, I just mean this is kind of a lot of cast-offs.
That were not being believable by other teams they were on.
Listen,
they drafted really well. They took other people's, problems and made them stars and made them part of the team. Some of the parts is very good on the Patriots.
Liam, what do you think when you score this between the likability factor, where your interests lie? Who are you rooting for?
I mean, I like both of these teams. I don't really care. I can't. There's good fans, there's bad fans, there's neutral fans. Every single fan base is the same to me. I don't care about the Patriots fans having been spoiled in the past. There's little Patriots fans that have suffered a few years, and it's their turn, maybe. I want to be...
The Sam Darnold of fans, the Drake May of fans.
Yeah, and I'm not the first one to say this, but I would like to congratulate USC and Sam Darnold on finally, for the first time ever, getting a quarterback into the Super Bowl. That's a big moment for Lil Bro, so I'd love to congratulate them. Nice of you guys to join the big boys table, and best of luck in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I guess what, y'all have had Aikman?
We've had
UCLA
pick of the litter.
UCLA checked that box a long time ago. That is one of the more wild stats about this game. All right, so if all of our allegiances... Actually, before we move on from Sam Darnold, Stu, as someone who has hit rock bottom, as you said, watched your empire crumble, and then built it back up, what do you think the traits are? What advice do you have for not giving up when you're at your lowest?
I think, it's an excellent question. And it's the key to success in life, to be honest with you. The key to success is to be able to be alone with yourself, to be able to gather your thoughts with yourself and have an undying understanding that failure after failure, you cannot lose your enthusiasm. Nobody's life is ever set in stone where it's over. It's done. You've seen people go to jail. You've seen murderers get out, rehabilitate their life, be so important to society. So I think it's an undying, first of all, love for yourself. You have to love yourself. You have to trust yourself. You have to be able to be alone with yourself and understand that no one is better than you. You are never overmatched, that you can do anything in the world. Everyone puts on their pants the same way. They bleed the same way.
Yeah.
And I hate when people say, oh, he's entitled, he did this. No. He did it himself. He really did. You have to rely on yourself and trust yourself. And it's an undying, for me, it's a belief in God. That I believe that if I do the right thing, if I work 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, I might not be smarter than anybody else, but I can outwork that person. So if you can work 7/24 and zone in, trust yourself, love yourself, believe in yourself, there's nothing you can't accomplish. There's nothing you can't do. I'm living proof of that.
I love that.
And that's really where it is. But to be alone with yourself, to understand that you are alone and that it's okay to be scared and it's okay to fail and it's okay to say, I am not sure what my next step's going to be, but you have to do it and you have to walk the walk and be comfortable in your own skin. But rely on yourself, your trust, your knowledge. If you're super smart, great, but you can outwork the next person every day, twice on Sunday.
Well, and it's crazy because, again, there's so many players in this game that this would apply to, right? I mean, you look at Cooper Kupp. He had attained the heights. I mean, he was a Triple Crown winner, Super Bowl MVP. What did the Rams do? They cast him off. There's reporting in The Athletic that the Rams were going around to other NFL teams saying, don't sign this man. He's cooked. He's got nothing left in the tank. Look at him now. He just got revenge against the Rams. He's in the Super Bowl. I mean, you look at Leonard Williams, drafted 6th overall by the Jets, another guy that they had given up on. He gets cast off. He's now a 2-time Pro Bowler under Mike Macdonald. Stephon Diggs, Caleb Chase on. Like, the list goes on in this game. So if you're down and out there, guys, listen to that advice. Unending enthusiasm. Do not give up. Keep on going. I got another question for the crew here. Mike Vrabel, Mike Macdonald. Battle of the Mikes. Two of the more impressive coaching jobs that we've seen in recent memory. Who do you give the edge to? Maybe not in the game, but in terms of the turnaround. Who's done a more impressive jobs of getting their teams to this respective point?
I mean, the Seahawks weren't terrible when he took over.
Pete Carroll had him in a pretty good spot. That's true.
The Patriots were terrible
last year. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's close either. I think it's Mike Vrabel. It's 100-1.
I think
they were in 3-4 games. I mean, they were garbage.
4 games last year.
They were a joke.
Year.
They were an embarrassment. My youngest son, John Allen's like the biggest Patriots fan ever, the biggest Drake May fan ever since 2007. I remember when the Giants beat them, and he was walking around like in a coma at like 6 years old. I'm like, where does it hurt? He goes, my kidneys. I'm like, what are you talking about? But in other words, I mean, they were like the Jets. There was no difference between the Patriots and the Jets, to be honest with you, besides history. So I think Mike Vrabel's done an unbelievable job, unprecedented. It's amazing.
I agree with you, and there's one element in this that I want to highlight.
I watched Vrabel took I think Ryan Tannehill, he took, and they won 2 playoff games. Ryan Tannehill. So I have a lot of respect for Vrabel. I think he's one of the best ever.
Well, and one thing that you can't lose sight of with Vrabel as well is that the Patriots did something this offseason that is maybe not unprecedented, but it's viewed as not the best path to success. And that's that they went all in on free agency. And free agency, like, inherently is a dangerous game, right? Because you're going to pay a premium cost for sub-premium players. Because if they were premium guys, they wouldn't leave, right? They wouldn't be on the market. But because they're on the market, you're going to get bidding wars. They handed out over $364 million in contracts this last offseason. And I looked it up because I wanted to confirm this. Vrabel, he has the final personnel call on everybody. He's got that Bill Belichick final say, ultimate control. So the buck stops with him. in terms of approving those contracts, bringing the guys in that he did, and what an unbelievable job to be able to take the measure of a man and pick and choose. And, well, I think this element will be good here. And you bring in Carlton Day. Okay, now we got our second cornerback, and it's going to let Christian Gonzalez play more man. I mean, Caleb Chason, again, a former first-round cast-off, 1 year, $5 million, and he's become a huge leader on this defense. So I agree with y'all that Vrabel's been incredible. But Mike Macdonald's no slouch either. Like, the Seahawks were in a better spot, but you are talking about probably the best defensive mind that we have in the NFL right now.
He's great. I'm working on a theory, though, on what you said about the free agency.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Tell me what you think about this. Now you're correct that obviously if you're awesome, teams are just going to try to re-sign you, and it's very rare that those kind of players make it to free agency. However, with the state of college football and guys just changing teams every single year, which obviously has never happened up until the last 3-4 years.
Yeah.
I think that could be creating a sort of familiarity with changing teams and learning new systems and bouncing around that could elevate the performance of NFL free agents.
So I think that, okay, that's interesting. Oh, okay. I thought you were going to go a different angle. I thought you were going to say make players more willing to explore free agency, but I get where you're saying.
That could be too.
Well, I would say the only difference there would be the team controls you in the NFL. That's the crazy part about college, right? That the players.
But you can just play out your contract and then choose to be a free agent if you want to.
That is a very interesting point that they're almost they're being trained to be able to handle the rigors of a move, a change of setting, new staff, new life, new home. It's something that ultimately will probably only be able to prove or disprove over time, but I like that, Big T. We'll keep a feather in that. Liam, do you see anything there given your college ball watching acumen?
Yeah, I mean, it feels like they've already taken a few steps in the wilderness, in the jungle, and they're being accustomed to it. The food chain, as we were talking about yesterday on Roughness. Yeah, they're already in that world.
Yeah, the college football food chain is a discussion for another time, but it is fascinating to see how players are starting to funnel up and funnel up and funnel up. We still got a lot to get to with this game. We want to get the keys to the game, what the elements are going to be. But coming up next, we're going to talk to two-time Super Bowl champ Trey Smith. I had the pleasure of sitting down with him yesterday. Don't go anywhere. We got plenty more Wake Up Barstool all morning long right here on FS1. Super Bowl's on the way, so who better to talk to than someone who's been there before? Yesterday, I got to sit down with Trey Smith, two-time Super Bowl champ from the Kansas City Chiefs. Trey, take it away. Here on Wake Up Barstool, we love the Hoggies, the big guys in the trenches that get it done. So who better to talk to here on this Super Bowl week than two-time Super Bowl champ, two-time Pro Bowler, three-time All-SEC member. We talking about Kansas City Chiefs guard Trey Smith. Trey, what's happening, man? Thank you so much for waking up with us today.
What's up, brother? Thanks for having me on, man.
I'm very excited, man. Again, like I said, I don't think there's anybody better that we could talk to in terms of what it takes to win in this game, what it's like to be a part of this game. But before we get to all of that, let's talk about the Chiefs this year. I want kind of the firsthand experience. Obviously, we all know what Kansas City has been. This year wasn't what it has been recently. What was your view on this year? How are y'all heading into the offseason? And kind of take us through what it was like during this up and down season.
Yeah, obviously we all sort of fell short of our standard. I can speak for myself as a player. I feel like I fell short as well. And ultimately, you know, there's a lot of parity in the league, and there's not much room for margin of error, or room to make mistakes, or to have that compound into bigger mistakes in games. So we just have to be sharper. We have to be better at what we do. Like I said, I have to look at myself in the mirror and see what I can do to be better for this Chiefs team and for this organization as well, because there's a standard that we want to uphold, you know what I mean? And last year we didn't run to it.
Well, it's kind of crazy, Trey, because like you come into the league and immediately you're just on a bona fide winner. You're having success like right off the bat. Was it? Did you ever have a moment? I mean, you've already lifted back-to-back Lombardis. Like, did you ever have a moment where you're like, oh wait, this league is really hard and it's any given week, and like the margin? Did you learn that the margins are maybe thinner than you even realize in terms of what it takes?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even 2 years ago, 2 seasons ago, we were winning games by like small scores, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, even prior to then, you just understand that everybody in the NFL is really good. There's a reason they're in the NFL. There's a reason they're on the roster. There's a reason they're playing in the game. They're really good football players, you know what I mean, man? So, you know, it's always evident that you have to be sharp. That was one of the biggest differences from college to the NFL. Is a margin for error, you know, just technique at all. Anything you do, the littlest detail matters.
Well, and again, and that's something that y'all have always been so incredible at, is kind of stacking those small wins and then create the win at the end of the game. What's it been like for you as an offensive lineman? You come into the league and they're like, oh, you have to protect the NFL's most valuable asset, Patrick Mahomes. Maybe like, you know, a guy who's on track to maybe be the best player that we've ever seen play the game.
Yeah.
What's it been like working with Mahomes, and then how do you kind of process that burden? Because that's a ton of personal pressure, Trey.
Yeah, no, definitely. When I was starting up first, it would keep me up at night. I have nightmares about it, man. Like, don't get them touched at all, man. Keep them safe. You know, it's easy though with a guy like Patrick, ultimate competitor, a guy who's going to work his tail off every single day. He's going to put us in the right protection, put us in the right spot, and give us the best chances to win. When you have a guy like that, when you have a dog like that leading you back there on offense, man, you're comfortable in any situation. At any moment, I know Patrick can make a play. At any moment, I know he can inspire the troops, rally the guys to go do what they need to do. It's an honor to play with the man. I enjoy it, but like I said, it keeps me up because, you know, I don't want to see Patrick get hit ever.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even really fathom it. But then again, I can't fathom playing in a Super Bowl either. And that's why I'm so excited to talk to you today, because, like, that's, you know, 99.99% of us here in America camp. But it's the thing that we all dream about doing. In your experience as a player who's come out on top in these games, what would you say are the keys in terms of maybe preparation, mentally, physically? Like, how do you manage these 2 weeks in between the games? And what do you think are kind of the key traits that the individuals and the team have that end up making you successful when the day finally arrives?
Yeah, I think all teams sort of do it differently. I know for us, we spent more time really in KC training, made it like a regular work week, and then obviously you get to the site, and that's when all the craziness starts happening, right? I would say for myself personally, having a guy like Joe Thuney around you who's won so many Super Bowls. I know going to that first one in Arizona, his advice to all of us was, you know, don't get distracted by all the lights, glitz, glamour, everything going on during the week. Focus on the game. Focus on the fact you're about to just go play a football game. You can't lose sight with everything that's going on with the week, all the special events, the parties, etc. Like, you're there for one mission, one job. You're there to get a new ring and kick somebody's ass. So, you know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
So that's all I took into focus, man, is I'm here to play a football game. I didn't make the moment too big. I've been doing this since 5th grade. Let's just go play some football, and then let's see where the coins fall, when the chips fall.
Well, and then if you manage to accomplish that goal, you get to create a picture like this. We have a picture of you holding the Lombardi Man. What was that? What was that like?
That was I guess that was the second time we did it. Yeah, that was 2 times in a row. I don't want to say disbelief, but just like, man, I was just so blessed, man. Thankful. It was unbelievable, the feeling that won. You know, for me, I got emotional. I lost my mom when I was 15 years old, and thinking about everything I went through in my life. I had blood clots. Doctors told me I'd never play football anymore.
What?
And now I just went to winning. Yeah, man. I won 2 Super Bowls in a row. You know, doing stuff that they told me I'd never do. You know, God was so good to give me that moment, man. I was just so thankful. So just happiness.
This is something that I always kind of like getting into with people is, especially when you achieve the highest highs, right? It's like, what were you like at the lowest lows? So when what point were you when you heard about the blood clots? And was there ever a moment where you were like, you know, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe it's just not going to happen.
Yeah, probably like February 2018 in conditioning mat drills. I just straight up pass out. I couldn't finish, and they sort of rushed me to the hospital. And when I come to, the doctors pretty much tell me, yeah, you have blood clots in both sides of your lungs. We're happy you survived. You know, they could be deadly. And for me, it was just like naively, I'm like, man, that sounds really bad. But like, can I play football? You know? He's like, dude, just like focus on getting better. Like, dude, just take your time. And, you know, I had a lot of low moments at that time because obviously, you know, football is always an outlet where you let your emotion out, anger, rage, whatever you call it. You know, just have fun with the guys. And going from that to, dude, you can't do anything physical. Like, you need to take about 5 months off on medication that it won't allow you to play football, no contact whatsoever. That's a tough thing for a college kid and a young kid to go through. But, I had to rely on my faith, man. It brought me through. But, those low moments were tough, man, but you got to get out of it.
Trey, something that we love here on Wake Up Barstool, I'm a former O-lineman. We got a couple other guys that are on the show that played O-line, and so I was very pleased when I heard about the NFL awards finally creating some love for the big guys. The NFL Protector of the Year award. This is an award that in the future I'm sure we'll see you up for. Right now we got Creed Humphrey, one of your teammates, up for it. Joe, who you just mentioned. Joe no longer in Kansas City, but he's up for it as well. Bro, we got to be pretty hyped here, huh? Finally, the line getting some shine.
Yeah, about time, man. Shout out to Deion Dawkins. Great award. Needed to happen, man. I don't understand why people are unable to recognize the fact that football doesn't exist without the big guys up front. So of course we need an award. Of course there needs to be more recognition. So really happy to see this list. All a bunch of great guys, great players, excellent players, man. And just excited to see who gets it this year.
Now, looking forward to the game on Sunday, Trey. Obviously, you have experience with these teams through the years and what they've been. Let's start with the Seahawks and that defense, and maybe it's an O-line perspective, maybe overall. What is it about what Seattle does that kind of impresses you most, or makes them so tough, and why they ended this season as the number one defense in the league?
Self-admittedly, I haven't watched them a ton on film, but I know some of those guys that have up front.
Yeah.
And I know a guy like Leonard Williams, he's a dog. I feel like from a physicality standpoint, the defense do a lot. I believe DeMarcus Ware is there as too. No, DeMarcus Lawrence. Oh, my gosh, It's terrible. But, yeah, he's there as well. He's a phenomenal player. He's been doing it for a long time. I know he's had a great season with them this year. But those are some of the guys that stick out to me because I feel like with the Super Bowl in years past, it really comes out to the guys up front and what they can do. And so for me, I feel like the Seahawks are doing a great job of being physical, and they've done a great job of being physical all year.
What about now, again, to stick with – actually, let's head over to the Patriots side of the equation because, like you said, you kind of come into Pat Mahomes and you describe the impact that it has on you and a guy up front when you have a guy back there that you trust. And here the Patriots are, year two, and all of a sudden Drake May's like an NFL candidate. His legs can kind of make you right when things go awry. What do you think it's like being a member of that Patriots O-line and being able to protect for a guy like Drake May? And actually, how about this? Because you were on the all-rookie team. You have a left tackle in Will Campbell, that's a rookie that's going to be on the biggest stage protecting the MVP candidate. How do you think Will Campbell needs to do? What does he need to do to handle this?
Yeah, Will Campbell, former LSU guy, man.
Right,
I think Will Campbell's a freaking dog. Like watching him play, heard nothing but good things about him. Obviously it's the biggest stage, and that's where it comes down to like tuning advice, right? Where, you can't get distracted by, the whole world's watching.
Yeah.
You got to go out there and just do your job. You got to focus on your technique. You got to focus on taking one play, one rep at a time, man. And you can't make it too big. But I feel like he's been a good player this year. He'll continue to grow as well, and I think they'll be prepared to go. I really like Coach Vrabel a lot. I remember him with the Titans as well, and have a ton of respect for them, that organization. Obviously, they're a storied franchise as well, how many Super Bowls they've won in the past. But I think they're going to be fine, man. But really excited to watch battles up front. That's the only way I can watch football now is up front.
Well, and that's something I'm always trying to tell people is like when the ball is snapped, don't watch the quarterback drop back. Like, watch the initial battle on the line, and then when the running back gets past the line or the ball gets thrown, then you shift your focus. Like, that's the ideal way to watch. That's where you're going to see the actual battles taking place that are deciding the game. And I guess I would ask you this. In your Super Bowls, do you have a moment? What's your favorite moment, memory? What stood out the most to you in your mind?
Ooh. I would say, like, my favorite moment would probably be the Super Bowl against San Francisco and that final play, throwing it to McCall Hardman and just like, oh my God, we won in overtime.
Yeah.
It was like crazy moment, man. I think I could even say the first time I won a Super Bowl when the clock finally struck zero and I'm just running on the field like a maniac. I don't know where I'm running to, and just seeing the confetti stream down, man, and being able to find my family at the end of the game and just hug them. I think those are two of my most memorable moments for both my Super Bowls.
I mean, it's a lifetime of hard work because, like in football, I feel like it's always the next week, the next thing, the next thing.
Yeah.
That's actually like the one moment where you're like, oh my God, I can rest.
Yeah.
Like the fight is won. I've done it. Now I'm a big college football guy, so I'd be remiss if I let you out of here without this. How are we feeling about the Volunteers right now? Feels like Heupel has them moving in the right direction. A lot of wins stacked over the next years, looking to take the next step. What's going on with Tennessee?
Yeah, man. First of all, I bleed orange, so I'm excited about them. I like what Coach Heupel's done. I continually see them growing in certain areas. I think we just got Indiana strength staff, a couple guys from them. So, building the team, getting the team right, obviously through the offseason is huge for chemistry and just making the nucleus and foundation you're going to be. But I have really high hopes for the team. Really enjoy watching them. Really enjoy seeing what he's done. We weren't too great when I was there. So, who am I to talk? You know what I mean? Who am I to say something? But no, it's really cool to watch them excel. It's really cool to see Tennessee get a little bit more recognition and a little bit more respect that's deserved. Because, you talked about, before we started, you talked about that Tennessee team that lost LSU at that point, right?
That's good.
But that Tennessee team still had respect back then, right?
Yeah, that's when Tennessee. I mean, look, when I was growing up, I'm 37. When I was growing up, Tennessee was they were one of the perennial national powers, and then they went through a dip for a long time, and then now they're kind of getting back to that finally.
And that's what I love to see, man. That's what we need to get back to, that perennial power, that respect factor. He's getting there.
It's kind of funny because you definitely got there in the NFL. You're now the perennial power. Kansas City Chiefs, Trey Smith. Hey, Trey, I can't thank you enough for waking up with us, man. You're the absolute best. Enjoy this offseason, and best of luck next year, man.
Thanks, brother. Thanks for having me, man.
All right, Trey Smith, there he is. 2-time Super Bowl champ, 2-time Pro Bowler, 3-time All-SEC member. We got more Wake Up Barstool. What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to Wake Up Barstool on FS1. Okay.
We're back!
We're back.
So back!
So back, and it's time to talk some gambling.
Let's go.
And we have the man who, again, has built multiple empires gambling. That's our guy, Stu Feiner.
Oh.
And so, You thought.
Oh, yeah, Stu.
Yeah, you thought.
Stu,
I mean,
yeah.
Look, the Big T's had a couple.
You have time,
wins.
Big T.
The Big T's had a couple.
You have time.
Wins.
People forget the run we went on the first 2 weeks of September, man. It was magic.
It was magic. It was great. I will say this for Big T, Stu.
Yes.
He's an old school gambler. He sits there and he has a yellow legal pad. Mm-hmm. No electronic BS. Yellow legal pad.
I so love
writing it all down. Locked in. But I want to ask you to interpret the line for me here, Stu. Because you look at Patriots Seahawks, and I feel like this game should be closer than 4.5. It's a pretty large Super Bowl spread. And people may say, what are you talking about, T-Bob? Seahawks' largest point differential in the entire NFL. Patriots played a weak schedule, the 390 combined win percentage of opponents, and look at the form in the playoffs. But again, I see a Patriots defense that has been as elite as you could have been in this playoff run. I see an MVP caliber quarterback in Drake May. What's your interpretation of this line being so large?
Okay, let me get something out of the way here. Trina English, shout out. Trina is one of the most beautiful women in the world.
Okay.
A friend for 35 years, an unbelievable mother, an unbelievable grandmother. One of my best friends, Trina English. I love you.
Trina English, we love you.
We love you, Trina.
We love you, Trina.
We love you. Okay, I want to be honest here. I made the line, Seattle, 7.5.
Damn.
The over under 40. And my reasoning is that Seattle's defense, if they come to play, New England's going to have a nightmare.
Yeah.
New England's going to have a tremendous amount of problems. They're not running the ball. They're going to have to go short passes. And I highly doubt that Drake May is going to beat them deep. So I thought that this line was very low. I think New England is getting a tremendous amount of respect for Mike Vrabel, which they should, and for their defense, New England's defense, that has been really overlooked a little bit. I mean, the defense came to play against the Texans, against Denver,
They were,
and they've really done a great job. But Seattle, be honest with you, if Drake May turns over the ball or if things don't go well quickly, this game is going to be very quick, very ugly, and Seattle could just blow them out of the stadium, and Dave Portnoy easily, for that $50,000 bet that he's hoping to make $1.8 million so he can cover the $1 million he's spending sending everybody to Frisco. Every Patriot fan ever is going on Dave Portnoy's dime. Dave said, I'm paying for you. Dave's calling people up on the phone. Hey, I remember you being a Patriot fan. I'm sending you a Super Bowl, sending you a Super Bowl, sending you a Super Bowl. So I think this line is very low, and I think it's showing it right now because offshore, there's been 11 $2 million or better bets, higher bets, all Seattle.
Wow.
All Seattle. So the public right now and big money right is all on Seattle. There's not been a New England Patriot bet. You know, unless Dave Portnoy bets another $2 million on the Patriots, which he doesn't need to because he's going to make $1 million.
Yeah, we talked to him
grand.
yesterday. He's not.
There's no reason. No reason. This is the greatest
rolling.
value ever.
Yeah.
And he doesn't hedge because he's guaranteed to make $600,000 right now. He can hedge right now, make $600,000 over $50,000 bet. He's not doing it. But Seattle their defense is elite. All world elite, all time elite. And I think the Patriots defense has to play perfect football. They have to bend and don't break. So in other words, for me, I thought the line was very short. I thought Seattle would be 7.5. And I think they made the over-under, 45.5? I made it 40. This could be a very, very, very low-scoring game.
Well, again, a couple of truly dominant defenses. You mentioned turnovers. I want to get back there in a second. Big T, as our Stu in training here. How do you feel about the line? What was your reaction when you first saw it?
I've bet on Seattle knowing full well the Patriots are going to win like 10-9 or something. I agree with everything Stu said. I love the Seahawks, and the Patriots are going to somehow win.
It does. They have that institutional competency. Because we've seen them so much on this stage, they generally acquit themselves very well on this stage. It is hard for your brain to kind of divorce this current Patriots from the Patriots of the past.
You know, the kids now, they talk about generational trauma. Mm-hmm. That's a big buzzword these days. I think we have.
You sound like a skeptic.
I think we have generational trauma with the New England Patriots.
Okay, Liam, let's get into some props then. Because we got a lot of fun props. Everybody loves props in the Super Bowl, so I want to give you as well. But Liam, what are you looking at here? What is the number one ball knower at Barstool seeing?
You're a storylines guy, aren't you?
I freaking
love
narratives. I think it's the best part about sports.
Liam, your hair is breathtaking.
It really is.
I mean, no, it is gorgeous and it's distracting. Chills are going through my body. I don't know if it's passion or asthma, but your hair is unbelievable.
Should I cancel my haircut today?
I would never. I'd be
no, Stu, Liam doesn't like to be touched. Liam doesn't like to be touched.
I know that. Do you know how I know that? Because I've hugged him and kissed him like 3 times, and it was like I was COVID.
No,
it was like I was like bubonic plague. He hates it. No, he hates it. I know that.
Wait, so Liam, what about...
No, he hates it. I hugged him, and he pulled away from me. Like, do I stink? Do I have an odor? I shower twice a day.
I had to learn it too. Wait, so Liam, what props
I'm sorry. I violated your space. I'm sorry.
I'm going to cancel my haircut today.
I would never cut your hair.
Okay,
you
I
look
agree
like
with
God.
That. Well, I got to get
I'd give you $50,000 right now if I could grow my hair. I've gone to 3 straight haircuts and not cut the top of my hair. I go, just buzz the sides, don't touch the top. People are like, wait, did you go to Turkey with the Barstool people? I go, no, I just haven't cut my hair. Don't ever cut your hair. Never.
Okay.
Never.
So what props
storyline
on here?
Storyline.
Give me the storyline.
Jake Bobo. What a guy.
What a guy.
Bobo. What a thing he did for Max Delente, our very own Max Delente last week. Jake Bobo, you know where he's from?
Where?
Massachusetts. Gonna have a lot of friends and family in the crowd wearing Seahawks gear, but he knows deep down they're cheering for New England. Jake Bobo, he's got 3 targets combined in his last 2 games, big-time playoff games. Jake Bobo, in my opinion, is the greatest, most underappreciated player in the league. As in, This guy is never utilized, but when he's utilized, he's making the big-time play, and he's got folks at home saying, Bobo, 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 this guy's unbelievable, Bobo, Bobo. Jake Bobo to get 1 receiving yards, plus 164.
Just 1 yard.
Just 1 receiving
That's all you
yard.
need.
That's all I need is
hitting
Jake
it right
Bobo.
now, Bluttman.
The Seahawks love nothing more than dialing up the Jake Bobo play when you least expect it. Jake Bobo, 1 receiving yard. That's all I need play. I once told Jake Bobo, I interviewed him back at the East-West Shrine Bowl a few years ago in his draft process. I told Jake Bobo, you're my dad's favorite player. And he responded, why?
That's a valid response.
I love Jake Bobo. The Bluttman family loves Jake Bobo. Plus 161.
Shout out, Jake!
Jake Bobo, 1 receiving yard. I'm spending my Super Bowl Sunday watching golf and making sure Jake Bobo gets 1 receiving yard.
That's an electric bet, too.
I love that.
Yeah, I mean, because it's a do or die affair, right? There's no teases or whatnot. It's either he's going to get it or he's going to not. It's no building up to it. Excellent call, Liam.
Jake Bobo!
Shout out
Yellow
Trina.
Gatorade plus
Bobo!
260.
What is that?
Plus 260 yellow Gatorade.
Yellow/green?
Yeah, I say green. Y'all were low. It's yellow.
I'm agreeing.
Okay.
I want to clarify
They give
for
you
the
it
people.
clearly says on the bed yellow/green, lemon lime plus 260.
Okay, there you go. Could make sense. As Big T pointed out off air, Seattle's colors. I could see it. Coming up next, let's close out hour number 1. We got some Pro Bowl talk. Ooh, boys. Don't change the channel, guys. I promise we'll make it entertaining. Tonight on FS1, the 150th Westminster Kennel Club Dog Show continues, and the top dog will be crowned as Best in Show. Coverage begins tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern, only on FS1. Okay. Tonight on FS1, the 150th Westminster Kennel Club Dog Show continues. I've been saying Westminster.
Be a pro.
I've been saying Westminster my entire life.
Come on.
You tell me 30 seconds ago it's Westminster. I'm sorry.
I told you
It's
5 minutes
Westminster.
ago.
Tonight on FS1, the 150th Westminster Kennel Club Dog Show continues.
Shout out, dog. I love that. Do you watch
Best
it?
in Show. Yeah, it's great.
I love it.
Great program. Excited
I love
to watch
dogs.
tonight.
Do you love dogs?
I love dogs.
You like dogs?
Love.
Look at this
Let me look at
dog.
that thing.
Look at this dog.
I will be locked in, no cap, watching this. I will tweet out the best dogs tonight on my Twitters. This is what I'll be doing.
Grace and beauty personified. That dog had a little bit of a Bluttman sort of feel to it.
Right, he had that flowing hair.
Yeah, that beautiful
That
flowing hair and
evidence,
grace.
like breathtaking.
It's just not
Like
the
the
most
wind.
impressive thing.
Carson Fetch. Oh, God, I just suck. I can't do anything right now. So, I mean, you could watch this tonight. You can watch the Pro Bowl.
I can't get enough of this.
But I think this is superior to the Pro Bowl.
Why
Is
would
anybody
you
going to
watch
watch the
the
Pro Bowl
Pro Bowl?
tonight?
No.
No.
Because Shedeur, guys. Perfect timing.
I don't think I've ever watched a Pro Bowl in my life.
I used to
And that
growing
was
up.
when it was real football.
I used to growing up. It was
And
the
now
best.
it's not. So
as a little kid,
why
it
would
felt
I
like
watch it?
watching an episode of Avengers or Justice League. All your favorite players teaming up, all the different helmets and whatnot. Somewhere along the line, I don't know if just players ended up making too much money, but it fell apart.
But like we talked about earlier, from 1967 to 2009, it was after the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So it was like you watch a Super Bowl, you got your last fix of the NFL, and then you can relax. And now, hey, it's NFL, it's football. People play. There's going to be a ton of points scored, and it was great. So it really went downhill, especially when they don't play any defense at all. But rightfully so. I mean, rightfully so for that matter. But years ago when Daddy played, and you went, you said to Hawaii.
Oh, it was awesome. It was 17-3. It was a defensive battle. They were actually getting
defense
after each other's
killed
ass,
each other.
dude.
Right, exactly. So
How
you loved it. Then.
But look, there's a lot of good stuff to watch, right? We got the dog show. Stu, you're watching Burnt Peanut now.
Love Burnt Peanut.
T, what are you locked into right now?
Shout out Burnt Peanut.
Sports, T-Bob. That's what I watch.
Just sports. No, like season 2 of Fallout.
No, I'm waiting. I'm going to let some more episodes of the new Game of Thrones thing come out.
Oh, it's really fun.
I saw the first two.
watch it.
I love it.
I like
think
it.
it's
I've been
very
seeing
fun.
people say
97
it's
Kingdoms, the Dunkin' Egg story
How
is a
tall
great
is
one.
he? How tall is he?
I don't know about real life. I think he's supposed to be around maybe like 6'7", 6'8" in the books. Maybe
He's
even
so
taller.
big. He's
Oh, God.
he's so tall. He's twice as big as anyone else.
Shout out Duncan the Tall. Shout out Burt Peanut. Shout out Ask Wub. You go on Twitter, you use the hashtag AskWub. We'll answer the best questions at the end of the show. Shout out Brian Hoyer. We'll talk to the 15-year NFL vet coming up next to kick off hour number 2. He knows everything about the Patriots. Talk Seahawks with Brock Huard. Going to be a great hour, too. Don't go anywhere. More Wake Up Barstool on FS1. Shout
out Barstool After Dark. We'll also be watching them play football, not the Pro Bowl.
Oh, they have flag. What's happening? Welcome back. Wake Up Barstool. We're kicking off hour 2 with a 15-year NFL vet, Super Bowl champ, talking about Brian Hoyer, a man who knows his Patriots organization inside and out.
Let's go, Brian!
Host of the Quick Snap podcast, him and David Andrews. Brian, what's up, babe? How we doing today?
What's up, fellas? Thanks for having me here. It's Super Bowl week, so I'm freaking stoked, man. I can't wait. And obviously, being a 3-time Patriot for myself, I am obviously could have never foresaw this season. I thought they would be good, but not like this, and so can't wait to see Sunday.
And so help us out here, because we're talking from a gambling perspective earlier, and it's a big spread, right? Patriots have been great this year, but it's a 4.5. It's a big spread. And then we have our expert on Stu, and he's saying in his book he would have scored at like 7.5, even 6.5. So give us the Patriots' perspective on this game, man. Why are they being so undervalued here, and do you disagree with that assertion?
Well, first and foremost, I do disagree. I think the narrative out there is, the schedule and then the playoff run, they play a banged up Chargers offensive line, and they get after Herbert, and then all of a sudden they play the Texans, who's this great defense, and everybody picks them to lose that game, and they come out, and it was rough in the first half offensively, but in the second half, Drake May was on fire, and that defense is real. And so I think the one thing, people are sleeping on their defense a little bit. They are legit. I think Vrabel and interim defensive coordinator Zach Core have come up with a tremendous game plan. They signed the right players in the offseason. They drafted some guys who can contribute. And then, of course, they go out to Denver, and my boy Stiddy has to fill in for Bo Nix. So everybody kind of discredits that. All by the while, they play in a blizzard in the second half. So I think there's a little bit of this, have they really proven anything yet? But to me, and I will shout out our podcast, because early on, I mean, my boy David, I know you have a history with them.
Yep.
He was calling for the Super Bowl after they beat the Bills in Buffalo. And he was saying, book the tickets. And so we were on it early. And I think for me, just so recently removed from playing, I kind of go with my gut, and I watch this team, and they're very unique. They may not have the star players, and they may have come off of a 4-13 season the year before, but they have come together and built a culture there so quickly, and they believed it before they achieved it. And Vrabel has talked about this. They bought in, and they just kept doubling down, tripling down, and here they are in the Super Bowl.
What do you think, Brian, the score is going to be as far as, do you think there'll be a lot of points scored in the game? As you just said, the Patriots defense has been prolific. They've been overlooked. I mean, they've been playing outstanding forever, and we know the Seahawks defense might be all world. Do you think there'll be a lot of points scored in the game, turnovers, or do you think it'll be under that point spread right now, locked in at 45.5?
I'm still learning about the gambling stuff. My producer, Danny Healy, he gets on me all the time. He's like, how do you not know this? I was like, bro, for 15 years, I just didn't even acknowledge it, because it was.
You don't need to have a part of. You don't need to have a know it. Trust me. You don't know.
I look at it, and I do think I look, in 2018, we won 13-3, I believe, in the Super Bowl. And the year before, Tom Brady threw for 500 yards and we lost. So it is kind of a crapshoot, right? You don't really know, how the momentum in the game goes. But I could see something being like 23-20. Maybe if it gets a little bit, there's some turnovers back and forth, maybe some more points are scored, like 27-24. But I don't think it's going to be anything higher than that. I do think that the Patriots match up better against the Seahawks than the Rams. I was sitting there watching that Rams-Seahawks conference championship game saying, I don't think you want to see Stafford in the Super Bowl with his experience, with Sean McVay's experience. And I hate to say this because I love Sam Darnold. I love what his career, his path has been, especially for me being a journeyman quarterback, to see a guy like that get his opportunity and take advantage of it. But I do believe this solely comes down to how does he perform. And I think the Patriots defense, their game plan has to be, don't let Kenneth Walker get going, whichever way you want to do that. Starting some too high shells, rotate late down in there, get him stopped. Take away JSN on those play action passes that Darnold feeds off of, and try to turn this into a drop back game and get ahead early. Make them feel uncomfortable. I think that's the one thing when you've watched them in these playoff games, they've never gotten to a level where they felt uncomfortable offensively. And I think Clint Kubiak has done a tremendous job pairing plays together, comes from that West Coast Shanahan scheme. He's going to be a tremendous head coach in Vegas. I thought that was probably the most impressive hire in the coaching cycle was for them to be able to get Kubiak and pair him with potentially Mendoza. And so I think you just got to get those guys out of their comfort zone early. You see this here when Darnold has time, he can step up in the pocket. Look, he's going to find JSN. And the Patriots defense, the one thing they do, they kind of, we call it battleship football. All of a sudden it's 2 Tampa, then the next play it's blitz 0. Now all of a sudden it's cover 1. Like, they're going to spin the dial on him, and he's going to have to make some of those reads after the snap.
Brian, now looking when the Patriots have the ball, this is a team that I guess kind of similar in some ways. They like to start on the ground. That's kind of the fuel for the engine of the offense. Everything kind of builds on top of that. You have a Seattle defense, we all know the stat, hasn't allowed a 100-yard rusher in 26 straight games, one of the hardest defenses to run on in the entire NFL, a freaky front with a freaky scheme. How do you believe the Patriots will be able to manufacture some rushing success to get things going? And if not, how do they counterpunch?
Yeah, I think they have to. I really do. I think the one thing, and I know the numbers haven't been huge, but Ramondre Stevenson has just been toting the thing. And even if it wears him down by the end of the game, I remember watching that Houston game. Now, I honestly think Houston's defense is better than Seattle's. That's just my opinion. And by the end of that game, they had this 60-yard drive where they were backed up, and they just kept handing it to Mondre, and he was breaking them down and breaking tackles. And they weren't, 15, 20-yard runs, but they all add up. And by the end of the game, they had worn down that Houston defense. I think they have to do the same thing against Seattle. And I think the secret weapon here, which is not so big of a secret, is Josh McDaniels. With 2 weeks to prepare, he actually came on our Quick Snap podcast, and we always ask people, what's your favorite moment, Patriots moment? And he said it was that 2014 Seattle Super Bowl, because he goes, it was just like a heavyweight fight, slugging it out back and forth, and we knew they were really good, and they knew we were really good, and it was going to be a battle, and I think he had such admiration. So I think he's going to go into this game feeling the same way, and you give him 2 weeks to prepare. Drake May gets his shoulder healthy, and honestly, too, I haven't checked the weather, but there's no way it's going to be as bad as it was the last 2 games they played. And so I think there's a way, and I think they have to stay committed to that running game. You can't think that you're going to sit there and drop back 40 times against this Seattle defense. That front is just too good. Their secondary is too tight in with the front. They know that the ball has to come out early, and Mike Macdonald has just done a tremendous job, similarly to Vrabel, of building that culture and the way they play. They play so fast, so hard. It's going to be a battle all sides around. When Seattle's offense and Patriots defense is out there, the same way when the Patriots offense and Seattle's defense out there, this is going to be really good football.
Hey, Mr. Hoyer, Liam Bluttman here, big-time football fan, and I just want to let you know the weather forecasters are saying there's a 40% chance of rain. I don't like the weather forecasters. I think they make stuff up. I think they're always wrong. What I want to talk to you about is the Super Bowl is such a sublime opportunity for the X factor, the underappreciated player, to make a big play and make their mark on the game. Who are you looking for either side of the ball to be the X factor?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think back to the Super Bowls that I was a part of, and to me, when we beat the Rams in 2018, you had guys like Jason McCourty, who had just come to the Patriots after being on, the bottom barrel teams, and makes a play in the back of the end zone to knock the ball out of Brandon Cook's hands. Or Kyle Van Noy, I thought he played lights out that night. So for me, when I look at this Patriots team, is it a guy like Kayshon Boutte, who's kind of had a year where he makes these big explosive plays? Obviously, we saw the play against the Texans when he's on Stingley, who's one of the top corners in the league, and makes an incredible one-handed catch. Also, with some of those catch and run plays that he had, there was actually a play in that Houston game where he hit a slant off of a quick play action play, which was the same play Tom Brady threw the touchdown to Brandon LaFell the last time the Seahawks and the Patriots played. So could it be a guy like that? I'd look over to the Seahawks. I think that they're going to try to shut down, the Patriots are going to try to shut down JSN. Is it Cooper Kupp coming up with another big Super Bowl performance? Is it Barner, the tight end, who's maybe overlooked because they're drawing so much attention to JSN? He's had a big year, and Darnold feels comfortable throwing to him. He's a big target. So some of those secondhand guys that maybe aren't going to be the top guys when you're looking at maybe the projections of receptions or touchdowns. I think one other name that I'd throw out, and I just think about this because Seattle's secondary is really good, but they play a lot of split safety shell, and Hunter Henry has been Drake May's comfort blanket from the moment he took over as a starter last year. Is that somewhere that they look to expose? Like, Ernest Jones is great, but he's short. So you got Hunter Henry running down the middle of the field. He's a big target. Is that something that Drake really leans on this week?
I mean, Kayshon Boutte, Derek Stingley,
LSU.
Brandon LaFell. I mean, Brian, noted LSU guy here, dude. How about Kayvon Chason, another one who's been huge?
Oh, dude.
For New
I mean,
England
Chason this year has been like they made a lot of great signings. But Chason, what he's done at the end of the year, this dude's going to get broke off in the offseason.
Yeah.
And I hope the Patriots keep him because he earned it here. He was a guy who, even when I used to play, you look at the scouting report, like, all right, we got to keep an eye on this guy. But the production never really came. And now this year in this system, he's just been incredible. The motor with which he plays. There was a play in the Denver game where he went and dove to try to make the tackle, didn't get it, got back up, sprinted to the ball and made a tackle. Like, that's how you got to play in this game, because this game is literally until the final whistle blows, you got to play with that effort.
Brian, I want to ask you this. I mean, you had so much experience with this Patriots franchise. You had experience in multiple iterations, and as a 15-year NFL vet, like, you can definitely appreciate every team is different. And so I guess my question to you is, even though the players have changed, the coaches have changed, do you think there is any institutional knowledge or institutional ties that bind that kind of carry over to have the Patriots back in this game and maybe give them somewhat of an advantage in this game?
Yeah, I've been saying this all week. I think there is an advantage. Vrabel playing in this game 3 times as a player, he knows what it's like, the hoopla. You know, you win the AFC Championship game and all of a sudden you're like, okay, we got to make all these plans. And the Patriots organization, because they've gone to so many, I mean, they have Nancy Meyer, who's in the front office, who's been along for all these rides. They have the people in the football operations who know how to get this done. They're out there scouting hotels the week before. Like, they know the process. And so usually you come in, you have a meeting. All right, here's your little packet. You know, these are the days where your family can go on the charter flight. Here's the hotel. Like, they have this down packed. And I also believe that, like I said before, Josh McDaniels coaching in this game. This game is a very unique game. And having been through it, it's really like 2 games in one, because the lead up to the game, you have the extra week, you're traveling. It really is like a college bowl game. And then, you know, there's America the Beautiful, there's the national anthem. It takes forever to get to kickoff. So you're out there, and I remember Belichick saying, like, don't like, you know, blow yourself out in warmups. There's a long gap from warmups to when the game starts. And then you play the first half. Now all of a sudden you go in, and halftime's quick in the NFL. This isn't college with the bands, and, you know, it's like 12 and a half minutes. Now you go in, it's almost a 30-minute break. We actually practiced that break right there in this Super Bowl. You're watching these clips. That was my third year. We practiced in Indianapolis on a Wednesday that year, and we did the first half of practice, and then we took like a 25-minute break to simulate halftime, went over and sat down. Okay, here's what they're doing. These are adjustments you have to make. So I think the knowledge of how this game is played, it's so different from any other game. I think that totally benefits the Patriots.
So I was talking to Trey Smith from the Chiefs yesterday, and I was kind of asking him mentally as a younger player how he approached this game. So is it kind of a mixture of, like, do you acknowledge the fact that the stage? Do you acknowledge the immensity of it while trying to still convince yourself that, hey, this is football? It's 110 yards, 53 wide, same dimensions.
Yeah.
How do you process it all mentally?
Yeah, I think it's a great question. And the first time I went, you know, you're like, all right, I'm just going to focus on this game. Like, I'm the backup quarterback. Can you imagine, like, all of a sudden you're thrust into this Super Bowl? Like, I spent every minute that wasn't in the film room or the meeting room or at practice, like, I would go back to my room and just study, because I didn't know the system the way Tom did. And I'm like, if something happens, I got to be ready to go. I don't want to put myself out there in the biggest world stage and not be ready. And then the second time I was more established. I knew the offense. You could really enjoy the week a little bit more. And then I would say by the third time, it was just, that's where the Patriots organization, I get it. Most of those players have never gone to the Super Bowl, especially with the Patriots. I think Milton Williams might be the only one who's gone to one. I think you want to acknowledge it. You want to acknowledge what the week is. You want to understand that this is the biggest game of your life. But when it gets to kickoff, you got to get back and say, all right, now it's time to play football. You rely on your preparation. You don't all of a sudden just play to another level because it's a bigger game. It's all going to be based off of that preparation you put in. And obviously with the extra week, you feel even more comfortable with the game plan.
So you were at 3 Super Bowls total?
Yes.
So in the second and the third, now that you were used to it, were you able to watch the halftime show at all? Were you able to enjoy that pomp and circumstance?
Not with Belichick as a coach. This is like so regimented, and You could hear it. But that was the funniest part is like, you go into the locker room and you could feel the thumping of the bass and everything. And you would after the game, obviously, your family would be like, "Oh, Madonna was incredible." I'm like, "Great!" Like we were down there trying to figure out how to beat the Eagles. You know what I mean? So, you could feel the energy. I think that's the biggest thing is you don't want it to be an energy drain as this game goes along. And like I said, look, I didn't get the chance to play because I was the backup quarterback, but just the lead up to it and the preparation. And I remember looking over at Tom Brady after those Super Bowl games and just. Not just physically drained, but emotionally and mentally drained because you pour everything into this game and it's a long day. Like the game's not till later in the day. You got this big buildup. You got all the hoopla. Like, usually our days are not that long. It's very regimented. You have your routine. You get to the stadium. You do everything you got to do. The game's over. Boom, you fly right back. I'll tell you this. This is something you would enjoy. When the Super Bowl ends, it is total chaos. Like, people are going to the locker room. Some people are on the field. Like you're trying to find your family. I remember when we beat LA, walking through the crowd of the fans after the game because it was so crazy. I didn't even know where to go to find the team bus. So like I'm thinking to myself, how crazy this is. Like I was just on the field celebrating holding the Lombardi, and here I am just walking through the crowd back to the hotel with the fans. It was one of those surreal moments that I'll never forget.
Love that.
Hey, Brian, obviously new coaching staff in New England from when you played, totally new players, but you were mentioning people in the front office, who still work there. I don't know if the equipment people are the same, maybe the sports performance people. I don't know who handles this. But when you played in New England, what color Gatorade did y'all have more often than not in the coolers?
So I do remember a lot of purple. Guys like the purple and yellow. Those were the only two.
Okay.
Lemon lime, baby. Let's go.
Lemon lime and
lemon lime.
And honestly, I was just for me, I was always trying to drink like the bottles of Gatorade. So I was always trying to get the clear. I like that clear ice or whatever, that like cherry ice or whatever. But I do remember a few times seeing yellow and purple in there. So I know that's like a bet or whatever. So
duly noted. I didn't say that. I was just curious.
Brian, what about, real quick, hey, Michigan State, Pat Fitzgerald, how we feeling, babe?
I love him. I've been in contact with them actually through some of the media stuff that I've done. I've gotten to know him, obviously played against him, and I think he's going to bring back the style of Spartan football that we were all accustomed to under Coach D'Antonio, even going back to Nick Saban those years, like this tough, Spartan dog mentality. And I'm stoked about it. I think he's the right guy for the job. Doesn't help when you get a nice $400 million donation to the athletic department. And in this day and age in college football, you look at what Indiana did in a short time with Coach Cignetti. I thought he was tremendous. So those turnarounds can happen quickly, especially with the portal. I do think we got to fix this portal to fix college football. Like, look, you can't just be picking and choosing every year. Like, all right, I'm going to switch teams. This guy, I've heard stories of kids signing deals and then a week later, getting a better deal and leaving. Like, imagine the chaos that would create in the NFL. We got to limit this. Like, you get one free pass or whatever it might be, and really try to, build that up. Like you and I are talking about LSU. I'm sure that those teammates from LSU are your brothers for life. Like, I think we're losing that aspect of college football.
Yeah,
we got to bring that back.
Yeah, I agree, Brian. Dude, thank you so much, man. Again, the Quick Snap Podcast. It's Brian, it's David Andrews. You're a Patriots fan especially. Check it out. Brian, thank you so much. Have a great week, man.
Great Saturday night with your daughter, too. Great dinner.
Thank you.
That's going to be amazing. I love you.
Brian Hoyer, what a legend, dude.
Amazing.
Excellent insight.
So good. So good.
Coming up next, guys, it's time to break down Big T's favorite subject. International NFL games. Big news, Big T. It's getting bigger. Oh, these RPOs. Welcome back to Wake Up Barstool. Guys, hashtag AskWub on Twitter. We'll answer your questions at the end of the show. Oh, Big T. I mean, blessed times, right? We got an expanded college football playoff potentially coming. And now we've expanded our international NFL games. The NFL officially signing a deal. They're going to play in Madrid. They got games in Mexico City coming up. The Saints are going to play in France.
Not on the moon yet, huh?
They're talking about 18-game regular seasons with at least 16 international games every single year. Big T, we love this, right? More football for the world, for the people.
This is you're trying to get me angry on TV.
Why? What's so bad about this?
What do you mean? What's bad? What's good about it?
Okay, the players get to travel, see different parts of the world. It's
I guarantee you, if you ask them,
our greatest cultural export, football, being shared with the masses.
The players are going there on a business trip, locked in their hotel's room to play a football.
They hate it.
No,
they're not.
they get to go
T-Bob,
out.
you
They
laugh.
get to go out about. I did a show with Jacob Hesser for years. He played for the Broncos, obviously the Chargers for a while. Played in multiple England games. He loved it. They got to go check out like soccer stadiums, go tour.
Nobody is disputing that they get to do that, but if you ask them, hey, would you rather go spend a week in London and screw up 3 weeks of your season, or just play at a real football stadium? I guarantee you, every single one of them would say the latter.
A2 Bluttman, you too.
Yeah, because you laugh and you joke about this and you're gleeful about this. You're gonna wipe that smile off your face real quick when they bring in Super Saudi Bowl 1.
How about this?
When they play a Super Bowl in Saudi, you're going to start to backtrack.
Saudi Arabia?
Yeah, because they're going to come in with the monies and they're going to play in the international Super Bowl eventually, whether it's London or Saudi.
Live NFL, we're talking here?
They just had Super
Live NFL. But in Madrid, Spain, do you think they'll hang out with Rafa Nadal?
I mean,
shout out Rafa.
What's your oyster? Imagine being a friend.
I would hug Rafa. I love Rafa.
You're having a cigarette and a baguette, and then you're going to the NFL game later that day. It sounds idyllic. Stu.
Alcaraz and Rafa will be at the Madrid game.
See, Liam?
Shout out Alcaraz. Shout out Rafa.
Stu, what about this? International game in excellent form. You should probably get that.
Thank you. I'm a great ping pong player.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I can get.
Well,
oh, you want me to hit it?
I thought.
Oh, no! Oh, no! I'll pay for that. I will pay for that.
Stu, international game.
I'm not paying nothing.
Best international.
I don't get paid to be here. I'm paying for nothing. I wrecked this place paying for nothing.
Best international meal. Where would you lead these guys?
Well, in France in 1998, I went for my 10-year anniversary, and I spent 1,000 for lunch and 1,000 for dinner. French food is unbelievable because they bring out this insane cheese board, like a cheese board, like it's a 10-foot board. They roll it out. You eat like cheeses and insane bread, and then they do the same thing for dessert. So France would be unbelievable. I've never been to Spain. I want to go to Spain, but I've been to France. I've been to Italy. Their food's amazing. French food is unbelievable. I don't care if the people hate Americans then, because they did. They didn't even talk to me. I don't even know what was going on. But since I was in these elite restaurants, elite hotels, it was phenomenal. I was running 8 miles a day looking out the window saying, I'm blessed to be here.
Look at that, dude. You're telling me the fans won't enjoy that? Cheese, bread,
Never
football?
go to France.
Big T,
France.
let it be known.
Desserts.
Big T hates cheese, bread, and American football.
Everything I've ever wanted.
Wrong.
Liam.
I want
roll it
to
out.
keep them in America.
You want to keep them at, what is it, C to take? Oh, no. Is that Willie? Who is that? Coming up next, we got Brock Huard. He's going to give us the Seattle perspective from a former NFL quarterback. So don't go anywhere. More Wake Up Barstool on FS1. What's happening, y'all? Again, guys, reminding you, into the show, hashtag AskWub on Twitter. We'll answer all the best questions on air. And trust me when I say Stu can answer anything in the world. Anything you could possibly want to know.
Whatever you want to know, I'll tell you.
And right now, it's my pleasure to talk to a man who tells us everything that he knows, and it's a lot. And it's our guy, Brock Huard. He's been on this show a lot. We talk about Washington, a lot of Seahawks. You see the sweater on him. Brock and Salt. Brock, what's up, baby? How we feeling? Super Bowl week.
We love you, Brock. We love you.
Okay, Stu. Answer me this, Stu. You ready?
I'm ready.
Put your thinking cap on.
I'm ready.
Who were the first two brothers to start at quarterback on the same day in the NFL?
The first Stu brothers?
Two brothers.
No.
Two brothers.
First two brothers.
The first two brothers to start on the same day.
Yep. At quarterback in NFL history. There have been a few.
There's been a few? I have no idea.
I'm drawing a blank. I'm blank.
Come on, Stu. You said you could answer anything, Stu.
Oh, no. I said I not that I could figure out a question answer. When people ask me questions,
He's an open book.
Audience, I can answer anything.
I'm sorry.
I'm dumber than a stump. I'm real. I got 550 math, 390 English on my SATs, 940. I came home crying. My mother was the president of the sisterhood at my Jewish temple, and she said, I don't even know if you're Jewish. No Jew has ever got 940, so I'm not intelligent. Please, Brock, I don't want to mislead you. I'm not intelligent.
What?
All right.
So, Brock, what's the answer?
I got you. That would be Big Brother and Me.
Okay, I figured. Damn it.
That was a trick question. I should have known.
Very self-serving, yes.
Okay, hey, Brock, I got to say, man, we talked to you a few times this year. We talked a lot about Sam Darnold, talked a lot of Seahawks. We got to feel a bit vindicated after that NFC championship, huh? Biggest stage of his entire life, everybody crapping on him. His literal career boogeyman in that Rams team, and Darnold played perfect.
He did. I mean, being there, it was something else. That stadium was rocking like it did in the NFC title game. Probably the last time I heard it like that. The Packers, this is now four NFC title games that we're fortunate to be a part of the last 20 years. They've won all 4 of them, and the playoffs have gone through Seattle. I think I told you guys that last time I was on. When the playoffs go through Seattle, if they could be the 1 seed, the odds will tell you they're going to get to Santa Clara. Being there, though, T-Bob, it was pretty obvious that the Rams' defensive plan was to put a lot of people around the line in line of scrimmage, say, okay, Sam, beat us. Kim Walker's not going to beat us. Your run game's not going to control us. You're going to have to beat us. And I think a lot of the folks in the country, a lot of the perception was, to your point, there's going to be some whammies. There's going to be a boogeyman. He's going to get sacked. There's going to be a fumble. There's going to be a pick. And there just wasn't. And he outplayed barely Matthew Stafford, because Stafford was unbelievable too. But those 3 touchdown passes, you're looking at play after play, the final drive of the game, holding the ball for the last 4:30 before they punted it. The dude was clutch. He was big time. His teammates love him. The city loves him. And now he's got one last step to get it done.
Brock, I want to ask you about something that you tweeted. So it came out the other day that the Seahawks would be going up for sale after the game. Of course, the NFL, everybody's going to leave no stone unturned and maybe trying to gain advantages on the margins. You're insinuating that you think this could have potentially been Kraft and Company kind of seeding this story here?
Well, they're pretty crafty up there in New England, pretty crafty through the years. So I doubt it was Bob Kraft himself, but he's one of the most powerful owners in the game and got a lot of friends in the ownership. Chatted with some folks there in Seattle because we knew eventually, as Roger Goodell said yesterday at the State of the Union, we knew this trust would not last forever, that Jody Allen, Paul's sister, would have to eventually sell. That's been clear. Now, when that is still at her discretion. The Wall Street Journal, you heard Roger Goodell shoot down that article saying that they were fined $5 million and that the league's getting really antsy with this stuff. She's been an amazing owner. This team is flourishing. That stadium's electric. I don't know why the league, other than wanting another valuation, would look at it and go, yeah, you need to sell and sell now. So, I thought maybe a little gamesmanship out of a pretty crafty crew in the Northeast.
Speaking of gamesmanship, one guy who has been the architect of this entire Seattle run is the GM, John Schneider. I did a deep dive on him and a video on him, I think a couple of weeks ago, because so many times as fans, you want to be able to trust your front office. And when you look at Schneider, to rebuild Seattle in a completely new era, first ever GM to take the same franchise back to the Super Bowl with not a single player spanning the 2 rosters, not a single coach, yet he's the connective tissue. I mean, what a job John Schneider has done.
He's such a great dude. I think of the 32 GMs, if there was one to hang out with you guys, the 4 of you, especially you, Stu, you would love John Schneider.
Hell yeah.
You'd love to have some beers with him. You'd love to talk ball with him. You'd love to hear his storytelling. He's just a real one. He doesn't put on any pretense of being smarter than anybody else or working harder than anybody else. He's just an egoless, humble, vulnerable dude, and he's surrounded himself with some amazing people. I don't think there's many organizations that have the tenure. Their equipment guy, EK, was the equipment guy in '99 when I was drafted there. Mo Kelly, an old teammate of mine in the early 2000s, he's been there for decades. Sam Ramsden, the trainer, that first came with Mike Holmgren in the '90s, is now the head of all their science and technology. Like, there's just great connective tissue, to your point, great relationship. People love that dude. And Mike Macdonald loves him. The thing is flowing. And to your point, man, no one's done what John's done and had that kind of longevity to see it through now with a couple head coaches.
What about this, Brock? I've been getting in a lot of debates all week. I've maintained that I believe that the Seahawks defense is the best in the league, better even than that of the Texans, right? I think they're basically just as physically freaky, only they have a scheme that is also kind of unmatched. Dave Portnoy shot me down.
Yeah.
Brian Hoyer disagreed earlier in the show as well. Give us your perspective on Seattle's defense, and is this the best defense in the NFL?
Yeah, Portnoy trying to challenge your soul in your life or something. Your mere existence.
It's tough, that's the boss man. He signs the checks.
He has 1.8 million reasons to figure down.
Yeah. Also,
1.8 million reasons.
He put a $50,000 future on the Pats, so if they win, he wins $2 million basically.
Wow.
But,
okay, I got you. No, I think from a completeness, I would say the Seahawks defense. I mean, it is right there. It's splitting hairs with Houston. Houston's got two elite ends, obviously, in Hunter and Will Anderson, two elite corners on the back end, a middle linebacker that runs sideline to sideline. I think it is just, and if you were to survey all of the play callers in the NFL and say, who do you not want to face? I think it'd be probably, 15, 14, 16, 13, something like that with the Seahawks, because they have all those things as well and more depth. They rotate 8 guys up front. They all got different skill set. Nobody's hit the quarterback more, pressured the quarterback more than that group. Very smart and instinctive at the second level. Ernest Jones takes the ball away better than any other linebacker in the game. It's why he was second team All-Pro. On the back end, you've got guys that can run. And the wild card and the difference is Nick Emanwari. Yeah. Houston doesn't have
rookie. That's crazy, dude. That's crazy.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. The Ravens have him and Kyle Hamilton, but Nick is even faster, and he doesn't have the time on task that Kyle does, and he's not quite, I think, from a football, sense and experience where Kyle is. But the dude is just, he's just not a human. We saw that at the combine. Like, you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to jump 45 and 12 feet and run 4.3 and be, 6'3" and 210 pounds. Like, he's different. He closes space different. He allows them to do things schematically different versus big people, because he can play with big people on the field. So I think depth and diversity of that defense would give the Seahawks a nod.
Hey, Brock, I don't know if you're ever on the sidelines pregame, if you maybe get a little taste, or if you have some connections in the organization who might bring this up. Do you know what color Gatorade maybe the players on the Seahawks prefer, and what's usually in those coolers?
Are you looking for a prop bet? Is that what you
No. We're just gathering information.
Yeah, we're just curious.
Yes.
Yes.
Don't incriminate yourself.
I'm smelling something there. I don't. But if I get any feel, I'll text your producer and I'll let you.
Thank you.
I'll let you know. Yes.
Team player.
Hey, Brock.
I do get down there sometimes, though, and I'll say this. And we ask Mike Macdonald. We get to talk to him every single week on our show, and kind of chicken and egg. Like, did the culture come because you win? Do you win because of the culture? Right? And he was like, I don't even understand that question. Like, it always starts with the culture. It always starts with the vision. And if you were down on the sidelines or around this team or flew with them, like, these dudes really, really care about each other in a way that I've just, I was around the 13 and 14 team was a little different. It was a little noisier, a little more friction, a little more in your face, a little more, eventually like, no, we deserve the credit. No, we deserve the credit. Like, man, this crew really cares about each other. And I know defensively disappointed in that Rams game. Yeah. I think Sunday's going to be a lot of fun for the Seahawks.
Hey, real quick. That guy spun a real answer out of a fake question.
Yeah, that's a pro radio. That's a pro radio man right there.
That was impressive.
I try, man. I try.
Hey, Brock, Bluttman here, football fan. I'm going to recycle a question I asked earlier, much like Big T did from Brian Hoyer. I just want to know X factors for this game. Biggest stage possible in the world, but it's a lot of the time the smaller name players that get up there and make the biggest difference on the most minimal play and make it a maximum. So who are some X factors to look out for?
Yeah, I think all playoff long it's been Rashid Shaheed. And you saw him against the Niners take the opening kickback. You saw him on the first possession of the game. I think it was his only catch of the game versus the Rams, the big 50-yarder. Like, that dude is so freaking fast. He's like Percy Harvin fast.
Yeah.
Like, when I watched Percy Harvin, I was like, how is that guy at this level look even faster than everybody else? Because they're all fast. Shaheed is that kind of impact guy. I think special teams is kind of the whole X factor. I think the Patriots are very good defensively. I think Drake May is going to run and try to extend plays. And, Josh McDaniel has been to 10 Super Bowls, for crying out loud. So, the one area that the Seahawks have been better, certainly in the playoffs, and you see that kickoff return that just blew the freaking top off that building to start it. I'd probably point to 22 is the X factor as a returner in the punt and the kickoff game. Offensively, maybe it's A.J. Barner. I kind of look at him because there's going to be attention to Cup, and obviously JSM, one of the best in the world. Shaheed is explosive, and it was what the Patriots like to do, a lot of pressure or a bunch of zone. Sam's pretty comfortable with A.J. Barner. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a number of touches too.
Brock, I'd like to say something, because when I think of the Seattle Seahawks and when they won their first Super Bowl, and that was one of the greatest defenses ever and the greatest teams ever, Russell, everyone played great. You figured they were going to be a dynasty. You figured they were going to win 2-3 in a row. No two ways about it. They came back the next year, represented the Super Bowl again from the NFC. They easily were the best team in the NFL again that year. Do you think winning this Super Bowl will now put to bed forever the worst play ever in Super Bowl history, and maybe Pete Carroll can just take a deep breath? I mean, after maybe one of the worst experiences of his life last year, coaching, getting fired, and then now the Super Bowl brings back home. How many people are talking about Pete Carroll this, Pete Carroll that? Do you think if the Seattle wins the Super Bowl, we could put to bed Pete Carroll's worst mistake of his life?
Yeah, I don't know if it'll ever get fully kind of put to bed. Maybe it'll get put to bed, maybe not in the grave, if that makes any sense in an analogy. Because it just doesn't work that way, right? All these Super Bowls are replayed all week long and rehashed. And this one, obviously, a rematch brings all that back and unearths a lot of it. But yes, I think so. I think this would just kind of, all right, here's the next chapter. Like, that was that chapter. And as I said earlier, those guys ran hot. There was a lot of friction. I think, unfortunately, that play led to a lot of just a mess, man. Something we talked about for years following that on our radio show. And you listen to guys still 10 years later talk about the discord and the disconnect and just how much, he tried to bring people back together after that moment, but they couldn't. There are a lot of hurt feelings. Obviously, Russell kind of went down a different road after that as well. So I don't know if it'll ever put it, in the grave. It could put it to bed, and it would certainly, and this group certainly, as young as they are, I think there's a more sustainability with culture of this group than maybe the volatility of that group.
Brock, what about this from a game flow perspective?
Thank you very much.
Drake May, his legs has been a massive factor. It's really, I mean, if you look at the Patriots' playoff run, it's probably been their most consistent part of the offense thus far. Would you say that are May's legs what maybe concerns you the most about how the Seahawks defense matches up here?
Yeah, probably, T-Bob. I think Jaden Daniels was the only one that really tried to threaten this defense with his legs. That was a Sunday night game. You're going to turn into a massacre as he dislocated his elbow. And Seahawks hit him a bunch. I think he carried it 10 times. I was looking at it. They didn't face another QB this year, at least in the top 8 with carries, and nobody scrambles more as far as the raw numbers than Drake. And if his shoulder's banged up, you would think he's going to try to do that. My only counsel is you better get down, because this is a violent group defensively. That is where them in Houston, like, you put on the tape and it's like, man, I know the league's tried to, to eliminate some of the contact, some of the hits, but they do it clean, and everybody runs. Daniel Jeremiah has a great saying, and I've stolen it a bunch. And he's like, you really want to look at culture. Like the best teams, and the Patriots do this defensively too. Their bigs run and their littles hit. When you see a defense of all of their big people that run with their hair on fire, and you see the big cat Leonard Williams, and you see Byron Murphy, and you see DeMarcus Lawrence, and you see Derek, like these are big men, and they freaking run. And then you got Witherspoon and even Woolen this year, like some of the slider guys, and they want to hit and knock the lights out. So when your littles hit and your bigs run, that's not a lot of fun for a scrambling quarterback. So he better have his head on a swivel because these guys are going to be coming.
Brock, on the way out here, man, give us a final prediction for Sunday, as this is the last time that we'll have the chance to pick your brain.
Yeah, I think I'd take the under on this one. I think that's probably, to me, the safest bet. I think both these defenses do a lot of really good things. I think space is really hard to find in the Seahawks defense, and the Patriots. And Josh will play the game as he's done the three previous playoff games, play to win, not just put up big numbers. Likewise, I think Sam and this offense will be, a little guarded at times. They'll take their shots, but they're going to have to handle some pressure, which has not always been. And I would look at the Minnesota tape. I'd look at the Indy tape, and certainly the Pats will do that. Teams that heated him up and pressured and really brought people. So, yeah, I think the under is probably the safest play. And just in totality, 1 through 70, that's been the mantra for the Seahawks. They're not a practice squad. It's a ready squad. They've all been ready. They've all stepped up. It's 1 through 70 in all three phases. And I think that ultimately outlasts the Pats on Sunday.
There you go. Brock Huard, coast of Brock and Salt. Hey, Brock.
Fabulous job.
I know you're traveling to San Francisco after the show today. Safe travels. Have a great time at the game, man. And look forward to talking to you again in the future.
We love you.
Appreciate
We love you.
boys.
We
All right,
love you.
okay.
Big hugs.
Love
We
you,
love you.
Love you too, Stu.
All right, coming up next in a closed show, a little Ask Wub. Last chance to get your questions in on Twitter, hashtag Ask Wub. We'll get to them next. Barstool Sports. What's happening, y'all? Hey, again, happy 65th birthday to our guy, Stu Feiner. Congratulations. A life well lived. The man, still rocking and rolling. Super Bowl Sunday coming up. I had one of the most legendary meals I've ever seen yesterday here. I mean, how many courses were ordered at yesterday's dinner, Stu?
14 bottles of red wine.
Oh, my.
So that is the first course. I have never seen, and I never drink red wine, okay? And I
Really?
drank a bottle and a half myself.
You strike me as a red wine guy. What's the problem?
Well, I'm not really a drinker, but yesterday I drank. When in Rome, you drink,
Yeah.
okay? It was 4 courses. Carmine's on Rush. And
How in the hell did Mincy sneak this group?
you add it up, it's $1 billion people there. That's Carmen Rossi, who treated us. He's the most classy guy ever. Obviously a lawyer. His father was a world-class judge in Chicago. He owns like $6 billion. Carmen's worth like, $100 million himself. But he treats everybody. He's treated Barstool so well his entire life. And that's all his buddies. That's Chris Bader also there, the world-renowned comedian, and me and Mincy in the back. And listen, I'll tell you right now, if it's free food, Mincy eats like a king. I mean, I ate more than Mincy. I ate more than everybody combined there yesterday, but Mincy was second. Mincy took leftovers home. I don't know, Mincy took bottles of wine home. I don't even know what it is. I mean, I think, Mincy really was an embarrassment. I mean, I asked him to come, and after the fact, I was remiss. He embarrassed me.
Wait, I thought you were done.
But by the way, can I just say something?
Yeah.
He eats with his mouth open. Mincy! You're not supposed to eat with your mouth open. What's the matter with you? Close your mouth. And then he's bragging. He's bringing in $20 million for the company. He's got this cruise we're going on.
The cruise is
unbelievable.
hot,
$7 million he's bringing in. He gets a vig on that, by the way. He gets 10%. So if we bring in $7 million, Mincy makes $700,000. He gets it both ends. He's made a deal with the cruise line and a deal with Dave Portnoy. He's got it coming and going. I mean, Mintz has been like under the table his whole life. Now he's high in the sky. Mintz is on fire.
So wait,
he's on fire.
Is that how he earned it?
We had this waitress, Heaven, and Heaven was flirting. Her name is Heaven. Oh. Shout out Heaven, you were amazing. Heaven was flirting with Mincy. Listen, I'm not sure. I think they went home together. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. No, I'm not sure.
That's a legend, guys.
No, I'm not. What does I'm not sure mean?
Fair.
What does I'm not sure mean?
How did Mincy get back in the crew, though? I thought you swore him off the dinner crew.
You know, I mean, he was begging me, blew up my phone, said, Stu, I need help. I was in such trouble in Mexico. I did anything and everything, women and all sorts of other, just devious stuff that we're not mentioning. Please help me. I'm like Mincy's sponsor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm his life coach because he's a train wreck. He really is, and I need to set him straight, and now he's going to be a multimillionaire. He's going to be world-renowned, so we got to keep him on the straight and narrow.
Unbelievable.
But eat with your mouth closed, Ben.
Yeah, that's like step one.
And tonight we're going to another insane restaurant, just like full-blown. So, in other words, and again, it's
So
free
jealous.
food because everyone takes care of me. It's like I'm everyone's guest. Everyone pays for everything. I'm stretching this 65th birthday out to like infinitum. You know what I mean? I can't believe it's unbelievable.
It's well-earned, Stu.
Thank you.
It's well-earned.
I feel humble. I feel grateful. I feel blessed. I'm a giver. You know what I'm saying? And I like everyone to give me money at StuFeiner.com. So I total parlay 10 props. StuFeiner.com. StuFeiner.com. StuFeiner.com.
All right, here we go. We got a girl, Kaylee Christine, #AskWub. Kiss, Marry, Kill, Stadium Food Edition. Hot dog, nachos, chicken strips.
Oh, they're going to get me in trouble.
I'm killing chicken strips.
No.
I'm marrying hot dog, and I'm kissing nachos.
That's a clear.
Hey, I'm the number one Tinder guy at
I
this
thought Liam
company.
was the number one Tinder guy this
I'm
summer.
number 2.
It's not.
It's a clear you're marrying the chicken tenders and strips.
Agreed. So now I'm going to have to do, and people are going to get mad.
Are you going to kill hot dog? The most sacred of stadium food cows?
I'm
Big
thinking
T?
about what I'm going to do.
Listen, can I say something?
I'm going to kill the nacho.
Okay,
Also,
smart.
I'm the
Smart.
same as you. I'm killing the nachos.
Okay, smart.
I'm in love with queso, so I'm marrying the nachos.
Okay, smart. Who
And
are you
then what are
killing?
my other choices?
Kill and kiss.
I'm going to kiss the hot dog, kill the chicken strips.
Okay, there we go. What
Where
we
are you
got
going
next?
sauce-wise?
Barbecue.
Yeah, exactly. See,
Honey
me and
mustard.
me and
over
T are
queso?
lockstep for the strip.
Oh,
chicken strips.
I'm queso strips. I'm queso
Wolves
everything.
Boback says, which mascot of the two Super Bowl teams would win in a battle? Neutral field, #AskWub.
Well, the
Well,
Patriot
has a gun.
presumably has a firearm, right?
Yeah,
From what era is the Patriot?
this is a militiaman. He's armed.
Okay.
He's a
You don't
human.
bring a knife fight to a gun. Obviously, it's the
Yeah,
bats.
I
So if
love
you-
an Osprey as much as the next person,
He'd beat that.
but the Minutemen win.
Damn.
I mean, it's literally just duck hunt, except a Patriot and a Seahawks. That's what it is. Skeet shooting.
Why
with
is the
musket.
gun making the noise of a duck?
I don't know, because I'm cocking.
It's
Well, they do like the loading,
Oh,
like the
do
musket
they?
lotion. Yeah.
All right,
like,
stop this.
what?
We're on national
No, you
TV.
put the gun
We're on
powder
national
in, you
TV.
gotta load, you
doing
gotta
that.
pack.
Stop doing that.
Post a #AskWub.
I was
You can have 2 former NFL players, living or dead, at your Super Bowl party. Who do you choose?
For me, it would be John. Can I say John Madden? Was John Madden?
Yeah,
count?
yeah.
All right, John Madden and the fridge.
I would go with Lawrence Taylor. And I'm just going to go chalk here. I'm going to go Jason Kelce, dude. I know some people may think it's overexposed now, but I love Kelce. I love beer. I love O-Lineman. Shout out Jason.
I would have my good friend Arian Foster and my favorite player ever, Calvin Johnson.
Can I choose a non-NFL player?
No, it says NFL player, Liam. That's what it says.
I know.
Follow
Who do you
script.
want to choose, Liam?
Jake Bobo and Alfred Blue.
Yeah, Alfred Blue. LSU. There we go. Hey, guys, the same crew gonna be back on tomorrow's Wake Up Barstool.
Run it
Come hang
back.
out with us again, having a great time.
StuFeiner.com,
Thank you to everybody watching the show.
StuFeiner.com,
We'll see you
StuFeiner.com.
tomorrow.
Falls my